Hey there, welcome to the Healthy Vibes podcast. I'm Kelly Renato, and I thank you so much for being with me today. I hope this week to give you a quick bit of encouragement and just to help you look at something differently or maybe make a change or change your perspective. This week, I want to talk about hope. And I just finished listening to Daring Greatly by Brené Brown for the third or fourth time. I recommend it to everyone. It's a great book. She's a researcher, if you don't know who she is, and she researches vulnerability, courage, she talks about. And towards the end of this, she talked about hope. And it was so interesting to me. I do believe I'm a hopeful person. I have not always been a hopeful person, but I really do try to live with hope. And I feel that it is the health of my heart. I feel that I have to feel hope for life, for situations, for people, for the future, because living without it is just not okay for me. And when I say I wasn't always hopeful, there was a time in my life that I didn't live with hope. I always told myself the worst case scenario. I assumed the worst was going to happen, or I didn't always assume it, but I made sure I knew what the worst was, so I was prepared for it. So I was always thinking that way or worrying, especially when I first had kids. Worry just like flooded over me. And I'm sure as a parent, new parents, you've felt that feeling of, oh my goodness, now all of a sudden you have this life and you think of everything in the world that could go on or not go on, or the evil in the world, the bad in the world. There's so many things we can focus on. And as we all know, and I've talked about before, our mind is pretty powerful. It is really, really powerful. And when Brené was talking about hope, I was listening to it as I was driving down the road, and she said she read a guy that researched hope. Like that was what he focused his research on, was hope. And he learned, based on his research and talking to people, that hope is a function of struggle. Meaning, you find hope when you've gone through struggle, you've faced adversity, you've come out the other side, you've realized you're going to be okay, you've developed grit, resilience. And so hope is not just an emotion or not just a fuzzy, warm way of thinking. It feels that way in a little bit when I'm hopeful, when I feel worry come over me and I start choosing differently, because I know I can now. I know that it is a way of thinking. I know that I have control over what I'm choosing. And some days it's easier than others, some situations easier than others, because let's be honest, when we are deep under gray clouds or something really, really hard going on in our life, it's hard immediately to be hopeful. It really is. But after listening to what she was explaining, it really made sense to me, because I do strongly feel that most of my hope and my ability to think in a hopeful way or to be hopeful of the future possibilities has come from being deep in struggles or deep in darkness or deep in a place in life that you didn't feel hopeful. And I didn't like that feeling. I didn't like it at all. And I had sat there a while in that feeling at one point, not realizing that little by little I could think differently. I could be hopeful even though the situation was awful. And I think that feeling of hope seems irresponsible maybe when everything is going awful. It seems it seems like you're minimizing the severity of what's going on if you immediately feel hopeful. But at the same time, being in those hard situations for various reasons, postpartum depression was one time, after losing my father was another time, when my mother-in-law was really sick and not doing well was another time. There were several situations when I felt I didn't feel hope, and I felt I wanted to feel hope. I wanted to feel something different because I felt very dark. I felt an overwhelming amount of grief and sadness, and I wanted to feel something else because it didn't feel good. It hurt. It hurt really bad, and I felt like there wasn't a light. All I felt was darkness. And when I look back after going through several things, now when I go through darkness, I really do try to keep that crack of light and hope open. And for me, it's not irresponsible. It's not minimizing the darkness. It's taking in the darkness, but continually making sure that I have hope for the future, even when something is going really, really, really hard. And I believe when we know, and that when we go through things, and that's what this researcher showed, was that the people that had the most hope had gone through struggle and made it out the other side. And Brene goes on to explain that if we want our kids to have hope, which oh boy, do I want my kids to have hope, because to me, that's what keeps you going in this hard world. That's what keeps you going when life gets really, really rough, which we know, if you've been around long enough, life is hard. But hope helps us keep going. Hope helps us get back up when we've fallen down. Hope helps us to open the window and let the light in when we haven't wanted to or we don't want to. And teaching our kids hope, they have to go through struggle, just like this researcher showed. And it's hard as parents. We want to, fix things for our kids or help them when things are going hard, going rough for them. But when your kids struggle, being there for them, being their support, loving them through it, loving them no matter what it is. If they messed up, if something happened, loving them through it and letting them know that you love them no matter what. But also helping them to see that they will make it to the other side and they'll be okay, that this too shall pass. And most importantly for me, what helped give me hope when things were hard was trusting in God, was knowing that God got me, God had me, God was going to help me get through this struggle and I would make it to the other side. Whether it was how I wanted it to work out or not, that was up to me to let go of what I was hoping for or what I was desiring. I had to let go of my expectations and know that I was going to be okay no matter what. And for me, that was the spiritual maturity. It was me growing up with the Holy Spirit and knowing that my plans and my expectations and what I see for the future, I had to let go of and know that God had better plans. And as hard as that always is, and even though we say it and we know it, we still every day try to take it back and control what the future holds or what's going to happen or how it's going to turn out. But there's nothing better and nothing helps let go of worry more, stress more, or any of those feelings of fear than letting go of those expectations and fully trusting God so that you can feel that hope to know that it's all going to work out and you're going to be okay. So along with hope, for me, because I like to feel hopeful, it makes my heart feel healthy. It makes my soul feel okay inside. Like regardless of what is happening, the worst of the worst can happen. Just one thing after another can happen. But I know for my health, for my peace of mind, to help my kids also watching me get through situations, I have to be in the situation. I have to accept it. I have to endure it. I have to handle it. I have to take care of myself through it. But I am always hopeful that it will be okay. And hope, to me, yes, it's a way of thinking, as this researcher discovered. He said it's not an emotion, it's a way of thinking, a cognitive process. But hope is good for our health. And I will choose every day things that are good for my health. And hope versus worry versus fear versus disappointment. Hopefulness is a healthy choice that I make every single day. Too long when I was in that dark place was I not hopeful. And I tell you, I felt my heart like rotting and hurting inside by not having hope. I had so many ugly feelings inside of me, and I really felt that my heart was unhealthy, and I really believe it was. And I still remember the day that I said, I don't want to feel this way anymore. I don't want to feel ugliness, anger, worry, fear. I want to be hopeful. God, I want to trust in your plan. I want to trust that you have my future in your hands, that I'm going to be okay. I'm going to let go of my expectations. I had to let go of my expectations because most of the time, many times, they're very unrealistic. I had to become more flexible day to day as to like what was going to happen and what I thought should happen and what I had planned to happen, regardless of what my goals were in the future. And this is where Brene also says hope happens when you have goals for your future, meaning you have something you're looking forward to that you want to happen, but you're flexible in your path to get there. And that was a huge one for me. I had to realize that every day I couldn't get upset when things didn't work out like I thought they were going to, or I didn't get as much done as I thought, or that the plan completely shifted and I was on a different path for a little bit or something. I had to be flexible in my path. And I've gotten a lot better with that by letting go of expectations, becoming a little more flexible. And thirdly, she says, believing in ourselves. And again, believing in ourselves is a choice. It's very easy to beat yourself up, question yourself, and doubt yourself. And I promise, if you're listening to the world, you're beating yourself up, questioning yourself, and doubting yourself because the world wants you to think that. Most of the time, the messages we're getting from the world make us question ourselves, doubt ourselves. So you have to choose to believe in yourself and turn off that noise. So have your goals, feel hopeful about getting there, be flexible with your path, and believe in yourself. And along the way, I do believe, besides letting go of your expectations, I will always go back to setting up some boundaries to help you keep moving forward and being hopeful. Because you will have people in your life, things in your life, distractions in your life that don't want you to be hopeful, that want you to worry, want you to be fearful. And this is where boundaries come in. Because you have to stay on your path of feeling hopeful, believing and trusting in God. Because whatever is going on, if right now you are not feeling hopeful because you are deep in a struggle, I want you to know that you will make it. This too, whatever you're going through will pass and you're going to be okay. But it's one step at a time, trusting in God, starting to choose hope that it will be okay. It's a choice. It's a way of thinking. Let go of the known. Let go of what you were hoping was going to happen, what you're desiring is going to happen. Let it go. Become more flexible with what's happening, but just choose to have hope. Choose to believe that it's going to be okay. Take care of yourself. Keep choosing hope, and you're going to be okay. It will pass one step at a time. And get in the Word because there's so many verses and passages in the Bible about hope. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, and faithful in prayer. Romans 12:12. So get in the Bible. I want you to be hopeful because hope really, really, really is a choice. There's just some things that help us be more hopeful when we feel like there is no hope. So if you're going through a struggle, I promise you can be hopeful and you can get to the other side. So trust in God, take care of yourself, and one choice at a time, start letting the light in and choose hope. Because I promise it is healthier and it's so good for your heart, your soul, and your mind. So choose to be hopeful today. It's a choice. You can. Have a good week.